Well, happy Thursday to you. Welcome to the Jim of All Trades channel. Glad you're here. Glad you stopped by. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a Forex trader, and I'm here to help you understand the market from an Elliott wave perspective. Glad you joined me today. We're going to look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Find out where's this thing going to bottom, and is there a bounce coming at all? That's what we want to look at into. I just want to invite you over to our Litecoin swing trading community over in Facebook. It's a free group where a bunch of traders get together of all various skill sets, and we share our knowledge, and we learn together as a group. It's a pretty fantastic group. Got about 550 members, and we don't tolerate a bunch of nonsense in there. So it's a really just a friendly group for the most part. We have our moments for sure. It's the internet, right? But we moderate those pretty well. So you come on in. It's a safe environment to be learning in if you're trying to learn. If you need a little bit more one-on-one attention, I do have a Patreon group. For those of you that are supporting what I'm doing here on YouTube through Patreon, I just give back to you with just a group in Telegram where we spend a lot of time chatting and charting. I offer extra videos at night. I put out 2 videos last night. We talk about charts through the day. It's just more one-on-one attention and help. It's well worth your time if you want to join me over there in Patreon. Just click the link below, sign up, and we'll get you the link to the Telegram group. Only have a few more slots until the nature of the beast changes. It's really kind of a beta group. I do want to provide that kind of a service in the future. For traders that really want trade signals and things like that. So we're wading through these waters carefully. So if you want to come and be part of that beta test group, come on. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's look at the charts. The haters were out yesterday, so welcome haters. Glad you're here. I didn't spend a lot of time talking this morning, so let's see if we can get in the charts and see what else you can complain on. Yeah, they kind of bothered me yesterday, man. People hating on silly things. This world is evil. I tell you what, just mean people out there. They just have no better way to feel better about themselves than to come and just talk junk about what somebody's doing. I'm just sharing knowledge here, and doing the best I can. I used the word breakout yesterday, and people don't even understand what breakout is. Let me just take a minute and explain what breakout means, so you guys can get it. When we're dealing with a market that's going sideways in a consolidation pattern, something like this. Okay, it tightens up eventually, and eventually it stops trading in this range. It stops trading in that range, and it's going to break out of the range, either to the upside or to the downside. Yesterday's video was very clear about that, and so I don't know. There's a whole bunch of people just laughing at me over at a particular Facebook group because I used the word breakout. And how'd that work for you? I was like, just fine. It worked just fine because we broke out, and it was a timely warning for you guys that we were going to break out and to be ready for it, so you could be ready to do what you wanted to do with your money. Do I ever say I know what's going to happen? Absolutely not. And that's the other. That's the other kind of comments. Whether it's going to go up or it's going to go down. That's exactly right. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. Now, what are you going to do if it goes down? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if it goes up? What are you going to do? That's what I'm here to help you do. I'm here to help you prepare for when it goes down and when it goes up, and you can know where it's going and if there's a trade setting up and how to spend your money. But I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I'm just showing you how I'm spending mine, and you might take some information from that. So this is not financial advice for sure. All right, enough of that junk. Let's get into the charts. yeah, yeah, it's Thursday, guys. I need Friday quick. Come on. I worked all night last night till about 10:30. Yesterday after the video, I went to work and I worked all day. I didn't even take a lunch break, and I was just exhausted. Whew, tired. All right, let's look at Litecoin. We got two possibilities here, and it's kind of challenging. So let's just take a peek at it. Number one, we've got a five-wave move here. Now, if we have a five-wave move here, then what we've got going on, five waves, we're going to be finishing around here in this liquidity zone, most likely. Let me just tell you, we could finish right where we are. We could go up from here, just kind of a slow little methodical move right now. The market, I think they're waiting for Friday. To be honest with you, I bet you we get a bunch of sideways action between today for all day today, and they're just waiting for tomorrow. A lot of big market moves on the weekends, guys. I know people say it's dull. No, they move the market Friday night a lot of times, Friday afternoon. Big time moves of the market generally. A lot of times I notice that there are moves around 5 o'clock on Fridays. I notice that there's also moves around 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. That's my time at Central Time, okay? So watch out for those times. And then Saturday, generally through the day, it's just a slow grind because what they do is they pump up traders with the move on Friday and then they just consolidate it on Saturday all day. It's just sideways, boring and slow, and everybody's trying to find a position and trying to find their way in, and they end up getting trapped. And then there's another move or the next move on Sunday night, usually like Sunday into Monday about 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. So that's kind of a normal pattern I've noticed. One day I'll go through the chart, and I got the yawns today, guys. I'm doing my best not to do it in the microphone, but one of these days I'll go through the chart and kind of find out the time of the moves and just kind of just see what if there's a pattern that develops. I might do that one day, but till then, so if we got a five-wave move here, just saying. We could be finished here and consolidating, or could come down here to this liquidity zone right down here. I've got a $10 range marked anywhere from 53 to $63. 63 would kind of just put us just a little bit more down, and then we head up. So I'm not exactly sure. I wish I could tell you better how to count this wave. It's not counting very well, but it looks like we're in the fifth wave of the fifth wave. That's the best I can tell there, without going into great detail of that wave. So just watch out for this zone. Watch for a reversal. Might be a good buy area for sure. Actually, it'd be definitely a good buy area. Not financial advice, however. I'm going to be looking to buy there. I'm looking to buy now. Right now is a good buy price, really. Even if it went down some, we're going to get a bounce potentially in both of my counts. Let me explain why I believe that. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially. Now, if that's the case, guys, let me just tell you what the scenario looks like. We're going to be needing an ABC to the upside. Okay. Now, if that's the case, it needs to be proportional to this wave, and so it'd be fairly large move, probably at least 50% of the move. So expect something like this, but it could be a double top. It could be, I mean, it could be any number of things, but we need a significant move to the upside in the form of an ABC. Then after that, you're going to expect five more waves to the downside. Yeah, that would be just really, really horrible. Um, I mean, we're just talking majorly bearish count, guys. We'd be looking at this. We'd be back down to 20 or something like that. Just really bad. Um, if the waves played out like this, what would it do to us? Let's just see. I mean, $25 down to $2. Okay, that's bad, not good at all. But $2 would be invalidated. So I don't think that this is the case, but it's a potential. I want you to know it. I want you to be aware of it. What else could this wave structure be? This is what I believe it is. Let me tell you what I believe it is. Um, I believe that we're dealing with a WXY here. Okay, it's a complex correction. There's a W wave. There's the X wave when we're making the Y wave. Couple of fib targets for that. Okay, a couple of fib targets for this. One target right here, $40, $41 in the $40 range right there. That's going to put us in this liquidity zone right here. $38 if if I put the fibs on it a little bit more precisely. I think earlier I measured it and got $38. So yeah, let me just get this nice and perfect there. Yeah, $38 was the target for the one-to-one extension, as low as 1864 for the 1276. Now, something interesting, and I don't know why this is, and I don't know why, but if I put the chart in log scale, and I make sure that this is checked here, fib levels based on log scale. What you'll notice is that my target actually moves up to this liquidity zone of $56, and then there's another target of $47 in the next liquidity zone. So yeah, I don't know which target is right. So be aware of the $56 target. Be aware of that from the log scale, but also be aware that we've got that target around $38 to $40. All right, there we go. That's what we're looking at for Litecoin. Let's look in on the 15-minute chart there in Litecoin and see what we can see. Okay, on the 15-minute chart, we are actually not oversold. Really, we came down here on this one pump on the 15-minute chart in the RSI. We are making I mean, it's really kind of a double bottomish here. It looks like the RSI is just cooling off for another move to the downside. It's looking pretty downside-ish here, guys. It's really slow, and it's not. I mean, this wave right here is just looking like this, and we could go for days or a couple of days just going really slow if they do it to us again. If they do this to us again, it's possible that that could happen. Now, where we go from there, anybody's guess right now. But remember, we have the potential for the downside here. But I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but we did hit two areas here. Number one, let me see if I can get over to it again. I meant to mention it and I forgot, so sorry I'm a little all over the place. We've got this trend line right here that we came down and hit. We also have this green line across my screen here, which is the bottom of this wave. We've come back down to it, and so we've just hit that, and so we could be done here, guys. I mean, this could be done. We're really close. But this liquidity zone isn't that far away, so we could be coming down to this. That's my gut. That's what I think we're doing. And we also, the other thing I wanted to mention is that we have hit the 65%, the golden ratio, 61.8% retracement already. We have already tagged it. So we are at the 65 right now of this entire move. And so if we continue going down to the downside, then we have to really sit up and pay attention because we might it yeah, we'll have to see what's going on. Now, two waves, if this is a two wave, this could go 78.6% down here to 47, and so that's going to get us down at that lower target. I don't have any fibs uh, that are standard retracement areas at the target that I gave to the low side. We do have a fib here at 48 to $49, so be watching that level as well. Okay, so basically 50 bucks in that ballpark there. So be watching that. Okay, be watching it for sure. Let's look at the 15-minute chart, see if we can make anything out of this wave, if we can give anything about it that would help us. There's a potential here that this was all the bounce we get. Let me just show you. I'm going to go down to the 5-minute chart, get a little bit more detail here. How about, guys, would y'all be mad if I went down to the 2-minute chart? Yeah, sometimes just to get the detail in the waves, I go down. Come on. There we go. So we came down here. We got this bounce. Now, generally you get a bounce in three waves, right, guys? I mean, three waves is A, B, C. So this is looking like A, B, and I don't think this was C, guys. I think this whole thing is the B wave. Let me just show you, give you a little hopium here. I'm not peddling it. I'm just this is a little hopium of an upside move. Um, you see that we came down here to the one-to-one extension. We've been bouncing on the one-to-one extension here. We came down, almost tagged the 1276 move of this. So this could be an A, B, and a C. And now this could be a leading diagonal right here. And then we're making, so one way to interpret this, and just let you know, this could be a leading diagonal one wave. Now we're making our two wave, and then we're going to see a three wave move to the upside, 4 or 5, and we'll see if an ABC move to the upside. What would our target be? Let me put it back in 15 minutes. If that's the case, if we get such a wave, get these fibs off of here so we don't get fibbed out here. Right to the top of that move, right there to the bottom of that move. Have a target here at 67.50 and 68.42. So yeah, we could get an ABC up to that region. That would be kind of a square up to this region, but not quite all the way. Also look for reversal as well. If we make it up to 69.50, consider this as potentially a reversal pattern rather than a correction. So watch those levels, okay? So 67 and $68. If we get a reversal off of those regions, then it is corrective. We're going down more. We get a strong move to the upside here that takes us up to about $70, $69.50. There's a potential we're going up even higher. This is a reversal area, and we're making that A wave or some other kind of wave. Okay, to the upside. That'll be 5 waves. All right. So that is that. Let's look at Bitcoin and see what we can see. Now, Bitcoin made a lower low while Litecoin just fought that low, which I find is interesting. But basically, what I find when that happens, because that happened earlier as well, is Litecoin is actually moving first and then waiting for Bitcoin to kind of catch up and finish her move as well. So understand that. Where are we looking for Bitcoin to bottom out? Let's just jump out and look at the 4 hour. I do believe our triangle has been invalidated. I do not believe we're in a triangle anymore. Finally, we can invalidate that thing. I believe we are touching this long-term trend line just like we are in Litecoin. So here's this long-term trend line like I had here. But really, we've got a WXY working most likely, and so my target for Litecoin is still the $7,500 range right down here. We're looking to come on down here. How would that look if that's the case? We've got basically an ABC. We've got ABC. Now we need an A, a B. Now we're making the C wave. It looks like. I would have liked to see this B wave a little higher. That would have been nice, but we didn't get it. So looking for this, that means we need 5 waves to the downside. If this interpretation is correct, we would be looking for Let's just throw the fibs on it and see what we get. 1-to-1 extension down here, 82.44, and then 7,500, 74.80 for all intents and purposes, $7,500. So yeah, that the extension of that wave is looking good. There's a lot of confluence here at $7,500. So guys, $7,500, a lot of confluence, but remember we have this liquidity zone over here. Um, Supply zone right here. That's a demand zone where people were buying. The market always goes back to those zones. Okay, when I say the market always comes back, that's what we mean. The market will come back to those zones. It'll come back to you. Um, yeah. This is why we don't FOMO into Bitcoin when it's doing this stuff. You just wait for it to come back. It's a long wait. You got to be patient, but you wait. I mean, you could spend your $10,000 or $15,000 up here, and then wait for it to come down, and then wait for it to come back up, or you can just wait to buy, hold your cash, learn to short, or do short-term trades, things like that. You know, you just got to learn to be nimble in the market. So we've got A, B, and a C. We need 5 waves in that C wave. Let me see what that could look like. It would basically look like this. Looks like we've put the 1 wave in and the 2. We're making the 3 right now. 3 is going to be a doozy, guys. So we might have a lot of downside coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would get us down here. Something like that. Let's go into the 1 hour chart and see if we can get any information here that'll help us. I just go into the short-term chart is there any information here? I don't know if you remember in the previous videos I was saying this is an impulse wave. It was 5 waves, couldn't be interpreted any other way, and turns out that was correct. I'll tell you what, the market does a number on me sometimes. I see an impulse wave, then I question whether it's an impulse wave. I'm still working on my psychology as well, for sure. So here you can see how we bounced off the 1-to-1 extension of that wave. We're going to continue down most likely. This is coming down. I don't know if we're going to get an intermediate bounce first. We're due for a little bit of a bounce. It'll be a small though. It'll be a small bounce. It won't be anything big. But here's the deal. This is probably a 3 wave, and if that's the case, that wave is going to look a lot like this, guys. Okay. Okay, this is this wave right there. So you can see how we've got our first push. We've got a little bit of a bounce, we might get a little bounce, and it's just the bounces are going to be so small. So be aware of that. Be prepared for that. Understand that that's going to take place. So be careful. Like I said, your bounces are going to be small, most likely. The 3 wave the next target's looking at about $8,700 in the ballpark of there, 86.92. So this is looking down, guys. It's just looking down. Is there any other way to interpret this wave? Just like in Litecoin, the only other way I can interpret this wave, and I ask that question of myself, guys, all the time, just because I want to force myself. I want to force myself to to make sure that I'm not missing something. So the only other way I can think to interpret it, and I don't like this at all because this doesn't look, this is three wave-ish right here. I don't see how to interpret that as a five impulse wave. So, but this could be a one, two, three, four, and a five. I don't see that. But even if we're getting that fifth wave, still needs to be coming down here the way it measures. It's looking. We need to be looking to the one-to-one extension if this is the case. But if that's the case, we've got more downside to go because this would just be five waves of A. So we'd be looking at $88,000. I just don't think that's the way to interpret it at all. Okay, so understand that. Well, let me think here. The only other way I guess I could interpret it is that this is one, two, three, four, and this is the fifth wave. Yeah, okay, okay. Let me go back. Let me take it back. Let me. Are there any takebacks? Did you stop listening? Did you already go? Okay, so another possibility here. I'm just again just talking about possibilities with you. Okay, trying to be prepared for this trade. Um, this could be a 1 2, and that has three. This is 1 2 3 4 5. This is the third wave, and this whole big thing was the fourth wave, and so we could be getting the fifth wave here, and then and of this last fifth wave, and so we would be looking at a target of, drum roll please. We've already way surpassed it. One-to-one extension on the one-to-one extension for an extended fifth wave is we've hit it. So there's that. So what does that mean? We've hit. We've finished this five waves potentially. So if that's the case, this five waves is done. We're looking for an ABC to the upside. I don't think this is the case, guys, but I'm giving it to you as a potential scenario. And then after that ABC, we'd be looking for another five wave structure. I'm trying. Lord knows I'm trying. We'd be looking for another five wave structure down to the downside after that. Okay. All right. So there you go. There's Bitcoin for you. Let's take a look at Ethereum as well. I told you yesterday that Ethereum looked like it just needed to go straight down, and it did. What are we looking at there? Now, this is looking, again, potentially five wave-ish, but more. I'm digging in more to the WXY instead. But again, they're all kind of looking the same. Okay, they're all looking the same. Is this five waves? If so, this fifth wave is about finished. We are in a liquidity zone here. Let me get this off the chart so y'all can see there. We are in a liquidity zone here, right there. We've already kind of reached it. So, you know, on all of these pairs, we are in liquidity zones, and we could be getting reversals pretty soon. We might have one more probably today. We got another push to the downside, and then we could get a reversal, and that's going to be a short-term reversal, guys. But it would be a reversal nonetheless. It wouldn't be a long-term reversal in my view, but it would be, it would be definitely a month or so, it would, or several weeks at least, to make the move, but it wouldn't be long term. It wouldn't be like complete reversal, in my opinion. So either this is five waves to the downside, then we'll have three waves to the upside, like in Litecoin and Bitcoin. So we'd be looking for somewhere a reversal. Okay, then up here, and then five waves to the downside like that. Um, if this is a W, X, and a Y, we got a lot more downside to go, just like in Bitcoin and just like in Litecoin. What would be the target if that's the case? Um, if that's the case, the target is looking 60. Wow, $66 Ethereum. That's crazy, crazy. Let's put it on log scale and see what happens. I try to click, but nothing happens. Settings. Okay, guys, my computer's not letting me go into settings. It does this on occasion. But it looks like it's right. The one-to-one extension would put us at 126 instead in log scale. I don't know if that's correct or not. I'm not even sure about that. That's something that another trader was telling me about, and I found it interesting, and I haven't researched it yet. But just wanted to share with you that it's interesting. All right, guys, that's a long enough video. 25 minutes. Wow. Okay, you guys have a fantastic day. That's the best I've got for you right now. Be watching here for reversal potential, but we have a strong potential for downside. If you're not in a how do I say it? If you're not in a position already, in a short position, it's not the time right now to enter unless we get a good pullback, and then we have a good indication of a follow through back down to the a reversal back down to the downside. Just not a great time to enter a short if you're thinking about shorting. Just I don't like to enter in the middle of a wave. Wait for a pullback. If you get a three-wave pullback, then you consider to enter. All right, you guys have a fantastic Thursday. See you on Friday. Bye bye.